Good evening, I'm Linord, Moudou. This is Africa 54. Tonight we begin our broadcast in West Africa, where Ivory Coast officials are counting the ballots in the first presidential election since the political crisis and civil war in 2011. Turnout in Ivory Coast's presidential election on Sunday was around 60%, according to a senior electoral official. There were tampering fears that poor participation would mar a vote expected to return President Alassane Ouattara to office for a second term. More than 6 million Ivorians were registered to vote at some 20,000 polling stations nationwide. Voting was delayed in many areas by the late arrival of ballots and ballot boxes. For more details on the Ivory Coast presidential election, VOA correspondent Emilie Iob joins us on the phone from Abidjan. Good evening, Emilie.
Good evening.
Now, senior electoral officials have projected a turnout of 60%, and some other reports say the turnout was very low. What were your observations?
Well, it's an early estimate, 60%. They said it could still change, although I don't think it's going to change much from that number. It is perceived as an average turnout. It's lower than the one in 2010, which was 80%. And I think this number is due in part to the boycott by the opposition.
So the boycott resonated with the population, would you say?
I would say it was probably followed by the population. And also the other factor was that there was no strong opposition figure to face Alassane Ouattara. So people who were supporting the former President Moudou didn't turn out to vote for most of them.
What is your assessment of the voting process itself at the polling stations? Were things calm and peaceful? What can you tell us?
From what I've observed and from what also other observers have reported, there has been a delay in the opening of the polling station. There have been some hesitation in using the new biometric verification system, but really no major incident able to really jeopardize the whole voting process. I would say that the voting was peaceful and there was no major incident, really.
When will the final results be known?
The Electoral Commission has 5 days, that's the law, to release the results. But since the beginning, they've said they plan to release them as soon as possible. So this evening, in about 2 hours' time from now, they're going to release the Abidjan results. And then probably tomorrow, they're going to release the other results.
Now, tell us about the opposition's reaction a day after the elections. They called for boycott, and some people still went and voted, people that support the president, and perhaps some people from the opposition. What is the reaction today? Do they feel like the process was fair? What are they telling you?
They are literally giving press conferences in about an hour time from now to react to the elections. But so far, they have called for boycotts, and they still believe that the elections were not free and fair. We haven't heard from them yet. They're going to express themselves a bit later today. But, yeah, in some areas of Abidjan and also in other cities, we've noticed a very, very low turnout, so around 25-30% in a region which were in the opposition side. So we can say that the call has been really followed by some voters.
Okay, Emilie, thank you so much for this great report. VOA correspondent Emilie Iob reporting from Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire.